What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Dax Shepard film, Chips. Chips is a sort of reboot of the classic 70s, 80s motorcycle TV show about the California Highway Patrolman. Took place back then. I remember my mom making me watch a few episodes of it when I was a kid, and as a child, it wasn't that interesting to me, but she watched it when she was a kid, so she enjoyed it. And going into this movie, I just basically knew it was about highway patrolmen on motorcycles, and that Dax Shepard wrote it, directed it, starred in it, alongside Michael Pena and Vincent D'Onofrio. The film's premise is pretty much a guy who used to be a really famous BMX rider has to become a California Highway Patrolman because he's kind of fallen into disarray and lost his sponsorships and whatnot. And then Michael Pena, who plays a FBI agent, is set there after some armored car robberies happen, and he is then forced to go in and try to find the dirty cops in the system. The plot is far from anything new or original. It's a pretty basic plot line. I will say the few things this movie does do right are that the chase sequences. There are chase scenes on motorcycles and in vehicles, and some of them are pretty interesting. They are shot fairly well, and they have pretty good stunts, and I enjoyed them because they actually utilize the aspect of them all being on motorcycles to make for some entertaining sequences in the film. I think Dax Shepard and Michael Pena both do as good as they can with the script, and sadly Dax Shepard was the one who wrote the script, which kind of is like a punch and a congratulations to him at the same time. They both have some funny scenes. That's the thing about this movie. It's just not very funny. It made me laugh a few times, and that's about it. I thought that some of the character elements were funny, and they made for some interesting scenes and fun dialogue in the film. Michael Pena's character is like a sex addict, and then Dax Shepard plays the kind of washed up BMX rider character. And I thought that them working together, they had good chemistry, and I thought that each character had some funny aspects and elements to them, but they didn't work at all in the script to end up creating any truly hilarious moments. And then Vincent D'Onofrio, while he plays an extremely generic character in the film, you know, he classes up the joint a little bit. He's an extremely talented man, and I think that for what he does in this movie, he's good at it, but he doesn't have a lot to do. Like I said, this movie just isn't very original. It's extremely bland and cliche. The only original elements of it are in some of the character development, and none of that is utilized in a funny enough way to really help the movie along and to be more funny. And this is a comedy, so that's pretty much the biggest problem your film can have, is if it's not funny. It's not funny. The movie doesn't utilize any of the elements that it builds to make funny sequences in any great way. Yeah, there are a few good laughs in it, but when I say a few, I literally mean a few, and that's it. They're very poorly timed, poorly thought out, not good jokes built into this film. And besides Michael Pena and Dax Shepard, every other character in this movie is extremely generic. There is nothing interesting about any of them other than those two, and those two can't even carry the movie into it being anything that's truly funny or memorable in any way. This movie also probably had a budget that was a little bigger than it needed to be, because everything in this movie blows up. Like, if a car gets tapped by another car, it explodes into a fireball. And it wasn't like it bothered me that much, because it's just like, this movie's already bad and dumb. But why? Why would you spend all the money for that? Like, fiscally, it makes no sense from the production team to be like, yes, have every vehicle on set explode at one point or another. I'm gonna give Chips a D. The movie might have some funny character elements to it, and Dax Shepard and Michael Pena might do as good as they can, but it just is an extremely bland and boring film. The direction is pretty blech, with the exception of the chase sequences, and even then, they're not exceptional, they're just better than the rest of the movie, and it's just not funny, and that's what this movie needed to be. It maybe had some clever elements, and it maybe had a few decent jokes, but it wasn't enough to make this movie anything that I would recommend for anyone to see. Well, guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this review, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Chips, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.